You're going to be hearing background noise because I'm at the coffee shop. I don't want to sit in my car in the cold, so my house isn't quiet right now. So I'll give it a minute. My mom always calls it the weirdest. Her and Justice Jake always know when I go live. Anyway, I'm at Dunkin' and get some coffee. But is the background noise a lot? Not too bad. We got music going and that, but the other coffee shop I wanted to swing by didn't have the lobby open. But anyway, my trial is set for February 7th. Free trial, I believe, is the 3rd for me. Hey, Cat Scratch. But my brother, he just had his pre-trial hearing today. I wasn't able to go this morning. But anyway, so he has jury selection on Monday, and his trial starts on Tuesday. So I'm pretty excited for him for that. Hey, Jonathan, thanks for coming. Hey, Jamie. You know what? We had a really nice Christmas, actually. I was able to bring my dad up a bunch of goodies, including his cherry pie, to the hospital. So that's been good. It actually was a lot more bright than the rest of the whole month has been, so that's good. But yeah, so that's why I've been quiet, for those of you who haven't figured it out. But okay, so Jacob today, when he was at his court date, they filed motions for him to, okay, it's really weird. Number one, I picked the loudest place to come to, but everybody seems cool back there, so, oh yeah. But so they filed motions for him to not be able to speak on the fact that he does not have a prior criminal history, like he can't use that as part of testimony or evidence, which is really strange for him, because he called me, told me that, and I was like, well, we both know and they know that he does have a criminal history. I don't know if they meant to do that because it's been a while since he's been in any trouble, or what the deal is. Hey! But, so, I'm not really sure on that. And also, if you guys remember, he grilled Jim on the stand months ago, and I was there in case they needed me as a witness, and I was talking to Donna for like 3 hours before I knew that she was a part of it. So I'm even more glad that I showed her the things I showed her that day for my notebook. Oh, thank you. Hi, John. But maybe WLPO is on here, maybe that John. I gotta get into that. I just got off the phone with the owner of that stupid radio station, guys. But he's from Illinois. For real, it's so loud here. I'm like at the furthest point of the restaurant. It's snowing out. Because I wanted to do it outside to show the snow, but my feet were getting wet. No. But anyway, the other motion they filed was for when Jim was on the stand the same day that he claimed that he had never told a lie in his whole entire life. That's what he claimed under oath. I don't know why he claimed that, but it's ridiculous. I mean, all of us have. But so anyway, they don't want to use any of the testimony from that day about the cell phone policy. And they claim that the cell phone policy had nothing to do with the arrest. Like, what? Oh yeah, Johnny's terrible. They have attacked me on Mother's Day. They made a post about me. They've made probably 20 posts about me before. They said that I was their highest for the record thing they've had. I know. But I'm glad for the snow. All the way up until I was on my way to the hospital. Slid through yield sign to stop sign. I was like, oh. I think it was because I was pissed off about what those guys did. But, so yeah, they want Justice Jake to not talk about the testimony that Jim gave under oath, which I don't understand that. I think that's really weird. I was supposed to be used as a witness against him, allegedly, but I think they figured that was a terrible idea, because then there'd be two people demanding, saying what actually happened instead of one. Oh, my other angel's on here. Hi, Daniel. Is it Stefan or Steven? How do I say that? But, okay. So there's that with Justice Jake. I'm hoping to be up there at least one of his days he's got coming. We just kind of got a lot going on, so we'll figure that out. And again, mine is set for February 7th, pre-trial February 3rd, I think at like 10 a.m. I can't believe it's even gotten to this point. This is ridiculous. So, okay. Now, moving on to WLPO. I, of course, you know me, called and spoke with them. And after... okay. So, Tom Henson spoke with me and told me, oh, well, I'll be in there at your court date. Remember? And then when I told him, I said, you know that Jim walked into me. And then he was mocking me, saying, oh, you poor baby. You know, trying to... And it's like, well, I don't think he understands. That's the thing. He doesn't believe in FOIA requests, so he doesn't know the facts of this case at all. And you think he would look into it a little more because they fail to understand that I'm not in question for 1 day's worth of batteries. They're claiming I did 2 separate days for batteries, which would be March 2nd against Kurt Pastrick when he put his body like all up on me. And then obviously Jim Noblock, who's a fucking liar too. But obviously the March 2nd one came against me because I attempted to file battery charges against Kurt for what he had done. And I received via FOIA, which the LaSalle County Sheriff's Office tried to hide. I don't believe I've given it to you guys yet, but I have had it for a while. But the Sheriff Templeton, the sheriff at the time, who has since retired, he was heard calling somebody by the name of Mike. And I believe, I looked into it, I meant to double check again, but there's only one Mike of any rank that I saw on the Ottawa police roster. And he was either, he was a commander or corporal or however they pick the loudest place for... I thought the music would be a problem. I forgot the workers have to slam stuff. But, can you hear me good on here? I know. I don't know what that means. Vumingo. But, yeah, please do. So, so this guy ends up telling me, because I asked to speak with Tom Henson, and they put him on, and he's completely condescending, he's a dick, like he always is, among other things. And he tells me, well, we'll invite you on the live show, because it was like after the time, or, yeah, I think it's half an hour after they normally end. I don't know, I don't listen to that show, unless I find things about myself. Sometimes I check it out. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. I get distracted around other people. Oh, good. But, yeah, he tried to invite me on the show and all that, and he won't let me speak of the facts, though. When I talk to him, he doesn't want to speak facts. He wants to speak his stupid feelings. If you guys caught that video I posted early this morning, I posted it that time for a reason, because at about 5 a.m. is when they go on air, so just in case anybody wanted to give him some love. Maybe some people support what he's doing, I don't know. But, yeah, anyway, so I spoke with him, and by the end of the call, after he's trying to be condescending and bully me and be mean like he always is, he threatens me saying that if I don't go on his live show, and he gave me like 2 different dates this week, like including tomorrow morning at like 7 or something, 7:30, I don't know, wasn't really listening that hard to him, that he would go on air and tell everybody that I was too scared to go on his show. But when I asked him, I said, well, is it a paid show then? It's not a paid show. I already knew it wasn't, but I was just messing with him. And, but he said he tries to force people to be the guests on their show. And he threatens them with telling the whole county, this whole little shitbag county, that somebody is too afraid. So, of course, I question him and try to make sure that mental health-wise he's doing okay. Because it's strange behavior, I think. And I also notified him that Rod Thorson indeed was messaging teenage females, in which he was using his little radio show host job to do so, which is very disgusting. Because I wouldn't call it a position of power, but it's like, oh my god, that douchebag's on the radio, you know. Oh, hey. Oh, happy birthday. Oh, okay. Steven. I know, it really gets you messed up because you never know with those ones. But by the end of the call, this guy's sitting there, well, early in the call, he's saying that I'm not a real journalist and all this. And keep in mind, again, this is the same man that's telling me I'm not a journalist that claims he has not filed a bunch of FOIA requests. I think he said he's only filed one or two in his whole life. But that also speaks to the reason of why he has no idea that my case that he repeatedly has ran stories on, repeatedly, like, you guys don't even know, like, since the minute we were arrested, right after that, shortly thereafter, they made a big stink. They broadcasted us fucking everywhere. And these guys have been part of it because apparently they don't have any better stories. I don't know. Gotta make one up. That's a sad thing. We have, there was a girl that was murdered back in April. I believe she was stabbed to death in Ottawa. And we've had numerous other brutal cases since then. And I think it's really disheartening that that girl was the daughter of one of the sheriff's deputies. I didn't know it, Deputy Taylor. And anyway, but they're wasting their resources trying to go after people like me who they know aren't doing anything. And the thing is, Deputy Taylor probably knows this too. And I bet you it's a real kick in the gut when you got somebody that actually hurt your family member or hurt your children or whatever. And then knowing that they're wasting, I mean, because for me, they've already blasted me. What more are they going to do? Keep doing it? I mean, you know, all WLPO is doing is that looks great for when I go after them. Yeah, I know, they love to talk about me, but they, you know what? Not one person that has ever gone against me has come up and stopped me in person and actually tried to have a conversation. With the exception of a veterans home employee who I've talked about before. We actually had a great conversation, and she was saying how she totally gets our side of it and that she believes that they're doing the best they can, whatever, right? But anyway, this WLPO guy did that threat to me after telling me I'm not a real journalist and trying to speak of his feelings, not the facts. Like, dude, I don't want to go on air with you again if you're going to try and bulldozer me with your feelings. Like, I don't care if you like that I'm out here doing this or not. Because the thing is, I wasn't trying to force my way in the building. They're claiming, oh, I didn't go with the security and COVID protocols. Well, Wendy wasn't wearing a mask. We have it on film, from their own film when I was reviewing it. Wendy's not wearing a mask when she was jumping for joy as me and Jacob were freaking arrested. But you know what? I was outside. I was wearing a mask anyway. Actually, a shiny blue one that they later took off of me. Hey, you smoked some of that birthday joint for me. I considered doing something like that before I went out here. No, can't do that because then it just never goes well. I lose my train of thought even more than normal. But watching. Okay. Anyway, but so that happened, and eventually this guy, after bullying me on there from the WLPO, yeah, they're breaking stuff, dropping stuff, I don't know. After that, I go and see my dad right after. I was like on my way when I was talking to him, and when I come out, a few hours later, I'm like, well, I'm gonna give him another call, and I'll offer that if I'll go on their show, sure, if they want to talk laws and facts of the case and things like that. I'm totally down, totally down. Nothing to hide. My lawyer does not want me doing any of this. I don't care. Because it's all true. Nothing changes. Nothing I say changes. It all stays the same. So yeah. So we got that. Justice Jake, I'm really, really... Oh, you know what? I had actually injured my spine really bad, like 2 years ago now. Severely, right? And I did months and months of physical therapy after I had surgery, all this. And I went in there stoned most of the days. And they probably knew it. They probably smelt it. You know what they... Actually, guys, okay, back up. Hope my mother isn't watching this. But anyway, so on Christmas, my brother and his fiance, my little something-somethings I got, was wrapped up in a whole bunch of duct tape, and a whole bunch of duct tape, like 50 layers of duct tape. Sorry guys, I'm not even reading it. But I finally unraveled it, and then I started getting a whiff. I was like, is this weed? Right, because I'm not surprised. And and anyway, so eventually, that's what it is. It's one of them little pre-rolled joints or something, a little pack with those. And I had this thing in my pocket, and I was swinging by my mom's house or something. I was alone. I think I was going up to the hospital or something. Oh, I was bringing more pie. That's what I was doing. Anyway, so I'm in there getting this pie, and my mom's like, "What is that smell?" And well, right before I realized I smelled that smell right before she said it. This is like the day after Christmas, or I don't know. And, anyway, I'm like, oh, and cause I don't know, she's not like cool with any of that. She kind of knows. And she's like, it smells like a skunk. And I'm like trying to like be quiet, and I was like, oh, I think you must be smelling my Christmas present. Like, my Christmas present from Jacob. And she's like, is that perfume? I was like, something like that, you know, just trying to like get out of the conversation, get out of her kitchen and leave. She keeps going on and on about how it smelled like a skunk and how I shouldn't. I was like, well, I'll spray some, because I knew what it was. I knew I had that in my pocket because it dawned on me. I was like, shoot, you know. And like I didn't think it was that bad, but she was right next to me, and she keeps going on and on about it. I was like, I'll spray something. Of course, she's like, no, don't do that. You know he's sensitive to like perfumes because he is. And I was like, dude, just let me get out the door. Like, stop. And anyway, she was saying, she's like, if I were you, I would take that back. It was so funny. You just had to be there. I immediately called Justice Jake right when I got in her drive, and I'm like screaming on the phone, saying, "You won't believe what just happened." One time, she found catnip on my fridge and thought it was a bag of weed. Way back in the day when I had a cat. And at first, I thought it might have been just before I had kids or anything. I know I've been compared to Fran Drescher. I actually like her, so it's okay. But yeah, I don't remember. I have no idea what even got me on that rant, guys. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. That's good. That's good. Slowly but surely, you'll get there. It took me a long time too, but man, I'll tell you what, it felt like $1 million. It was the worst thing, and I actually, I originally went to the same hospital. Well, we'll get into that then. Okay. I originally went to the same hospital, one of the local ones, not going to name names. Was it 6 different times over 5 days before they finally took me seriously enough to realize, like I had gotten off of work, and I had been struggling with this spine thing for a minute, and I had gotten, it all leads back to this hospital, I had gotten injections in my spine, and I was used to getting them. I knew that, not too bad. I was used to it. Anyway, something went wrong, and immediately I was like screaming, freaking out. They like struck something, I don't know. But anyway, over that next week, I like severely declined, and then finally I got off of work, and I was doing something I shouldn't have been doing while heading towards a smoke shop in LaSalle, which was like a mile away from where I worked at the time. And I tried to get out of my car because I was going to get cigarettes or drink or something. And I stand up and I can't move my feet at all. I was stuck there for like 40 minutes, and I didn't want these. There was like some little Indian men that work in the store and like a bunch of customers in it. And I was like trying to play it cool because I was like, I don't want these people to come up to me and realize something's wrong and all that. I finally got back in the car. Finally, after all this time, went towards the hospital, which was all pretty close proximity. Almost got hit by a truck because I couldn't get my leg, and like I couldn't get to work. It was the craziest thing. And then this woman, once I got in the hospital to get checked in, the woman I saw, the first woman I came up to, was somebody I'd just seen at work like 3 hours before, 2 hours before. And No, I do not know that one. But and this lady saw me, and I was like bawling my eyes out. I couldn't even like talk. Like I couldn't even get out what was wrong with me. It was the worst thing ever. But this lady's like, "What the fuck happened to you?" Because she had just seen me, just seen me. But anyway, they offered to send me that time, but at that point I didn't have anybody to set up to watch my kids to go to the big hospital, because obviously they couldn't provide that type of treatment there beyond a certain point. And at that point I needed surgery. I couldn't do it anymore. And so then they send me home, give me a few pain pills, whatever. That's the thing, they like kept treating me like I was some pill junkie or something like that, which I don't have any sort of history of any of that. So that was really upsetting at the time. It was very upsetting because I felt like they didn't buy it, didn't believe me. I'm like, dude, I was actually born with a spinal problem anyway, but nonetheless, when somebody's hurt, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Sending them home 50 times with nothing. So then I finally got helped. But the same hospital we got some great nurses, I'll say that, great CNAs, some of them. I don't think so. And have repeatedly, and I mean repeatedly, left him without a nurse call button. Repeatedly, dude. Even in the ICU it happened. He's now not in the ICU anymore. The doctor came and wanted to have like the talk with us, but he didn't come. Who really came was a little nurse trying to have like a serious talk, who also didn't know the answers that obviously people are going to have when you're having like a big talk about bad things like that happening. Anyway, we're hoping that we're out of those woods. We don't exactly know, but we've had 4 good days in a row. I don't want to get too deep into it, but he had rapidly declined quite a bit. He actually was laying there without oxygen for a period of time, and it got extremely low, very low. And certain things began happening, and we were getting all these different answers, and this doctor's just never around to answer anything ever. Sends the nurse to do these big talks, and it was really defeating because he went in there for a broken hip, and then he starts not being able to, like, he did have oxygen, he has COPD, but he used it at night only, ever. You never saw him with oxygen during the day. And then he got to a point where he got so bad that they couldn't even perform surgery for, almost a week into it, I think it was. And, I don't know. But, nonetheless, multiple times, this man with a broken hip has been left without his nurse's button, had been let go without his meal. Like, certain days he wasn't allowed to eat anyway, so that's one thing. But there weren't systems in place or being utilized to stop him from, if nobody was there, none of the family was there, because I mean, we try to be up there a lot, especially me, and my mom and stuff, and one of my brothers that lives right out here. But if somebody wasn't up there to order it for him, obviously, like, the nurse or CNA needs to do it, right? Because he, at that point, wasn't able to. Probably still, I don't even know how well it'd go. Yeah, it was a great present. But, what was I saying? Oh, I don't know. But, yeah, they didn't order his food. And then it was like lunch and dinner, or breakfast and lunch. Lunch and dinner. It was like 2 of them. And anyway, then they say, they're like, well, normally they call up there, the cafeteria, if there's a problem with that, if they're wondering if somebody didn't get their food. So somehow that got the ball dropped a few times, but there's been numerous things I'm very upset with, including the fact that they're all crazy about this COVID stuff. And I've been there every time I've seen a security guard, almost every time, no mask. And then when there's 2 of them in there, no mask. No mask. But we have 1-person limits for all these people. You can't have more than 1 visitor. Obviously you can't have kids. My kid just finally got to, he looked good enough where I felt comfortable for him to, and could talk enough, where I felt comfortable for him to speak to them on video chat last night. So he got that. Pretty exciting. And then brought him a bag of Funyuns and he smashed them. So things are looking a little better, especially because we didn't expect it to turn into It's been since, I think, the 10th of December. Cole is a present. I actually, one of the presents, my kids got their dad, and we had to like wait to give it to him or whatever when he was around. And when my younger daughter got into it, and all of a sudden she comes out with this bag of gummy coals, and she's like eating on them. And my brother and his girl were over. It was like Christmas Day. I'm thinking to myself, I was like, I know I only got one of those because I actually thought to buy them for her because she's like in the little 4 stage. But I was like, no, that's mean. I was like, she might take it wrong. So I give them to him and throw them in his because he deserves. Well, and all of a sudden he sees this little girl carrying this bag of coal munching on him. But anyway, yeah, so it went pretty well. But nonetheless, WLPO has messed with the wrong one. You have messed with the wrong one, Tom and Rod. John Spencer is the owner. Back up. Okay, so after Tom Henson, that radio show guy, hung up on me earlier, guys. Yeah, thank you so much, Brian. After he hung up on me earlier, I think I called and actually left a few voicemails. I definitely did. But so when I called this afternoon, I was like, well, I can go in there as long as they can be men and actually talk about the facts. You want to talk about the facts? You want to talk about the law? Let's do it. Let's do it. And talk about what law you think I was breaking, or what moment you see me battering Jim. Because when I told him, I said, Jim walked his body into me. Because he did, immediately. And then he touches my butt. I mean, not like in a weird way, but like as he's holding the door open, we make contact again. I'm saying, don't touch my ass, Jim. And I have the camera right on it. He says, I'm not, as the camera's like got it on. I'm sure plenty of you guys have seen by now. But, so it's so weird. And again, they have no knowledge that there's even a second day a part of this whole case, because one of those batteries has nothing to do with Jim. Everything else does. Which I think is weird that I was charged with only battery and not obstructing for Kirkpatrick, which is just strange. But anyway, when I spoke to the owner of the radio station this afternoon, he, what's it say? Oh yeah, and I think it is. But when I spoke to him this afternoon, this guy did not like me, kept trying to tell me to email him. I'm like, no, you got this guy on there trying to threaten me into being on his crappy little radio show. Like don't try to tell me, I'm going to tell everybody you're afraid to come on. Like, bro, I called you right here, right now, and you're too afraid to talk unless you're trying to make money off of it, which is another thing they were saying about me, for clicks and views. Well, I hate to tell you, but one of those videos was demonetized. Actually, I think 2 of the 3 were. And many of my LaSalle County ones were just based on the language, content, because me, if you notice, I don't like to bleep out the curse words, all that. Number 1, I'm not the best at editing, shocker. And number 2, I like to be real with, if I said something, especially if it's something I'm not proud of, because I have, just like when I said something about No Name's Mask, I didn't know it was for his son had passed. Nonetheless, I do mean what I say when they should be ashamed of you. So it is what it is for that. You took an oath. You're supposed to be an honorable dude with integrity, and you're not. So, kick rocks, Jim. Yeah, but, they anyway, try to tell me that, oh no, you weren't invited on the show. We didn't, you aren't invited because you tied up our too many hours today or something like that before he hangs up. And I'm like, how did I tie up too many? What did I do? I had a 5-minute phone call with some idiot. But, I know. Love you, Karen. You're the only Karen I'm going to say that to. I met a few nice Karens, so I'll give them that. Actually, when we were waiting in okay, let me back up. When we were waiting in a COVID line to get tested, because a family member needed it, and it was terrible testing around here, and all this, right? We're trying to get it done that day. So we have 4 of us in a car for 4 hours sitting there. We didn't really, we knew it was going to be like an hour or 2 hours, right? No, over 4 hours. Ends up being negative. I almost wanted to be positive at that point. I was like, are you serious? But not really. But anyway, so we we ordered Casey's Pizza and had it delivered to the COVID line. And our uh, our delivery driver's name was Karen, and I actually recognized her from a different job I had a long time ago, and she recognized me. I was like, Karen for the win. And I guess she wasn't the only one to deliver food there. I loved it. But anyway, yeah, they tried to tell me that I was not invited anymore to be on their live radio show. So they threatened me with claiming that I'm too afraid. And y'all know I'm not afraid. Rod Thorson's name was right in my little graveyard. I mean, for Halloween, which is one of them. Rod Thorson, Jeremy Aiken, Tom Henson, and this other guy, John Spencer. John Spencer is like the owner. He thinks he's hot shit. But really, he allows his pervert radio host to abuse people. Because, again, one of theirs, and that's another thing I brought up before they hung up on me, was the fact that there's proof, I've seen it myself, that Rod Thorson likes to message teenage girls, like I was saying. So if they want to hide from that, let them, I guess. But nonetheless, they don't have a problem with me being threatened in the beach by Tara. Strange. But, so yeah, now I'm uninvited to the show that I was supposed to be forced into. And now apparently they got 5 or 20 calls, or I don't know, about their behavior, and they didn't like that. And he seemed very mad that people address their concerns with their disgusting behavior. It's very strange. I had previously sent them all sorts of things, showing them exactly where the lies were, how it wasn't true, how we had evidence of it. And they responded saying, WLPO, saying that they would only take it if it's in court or presented as testimony or some shit. I'm like, well, you sure didn't do that when you relied on what Tom Collins had to say to make your initial story. You still haven't relied on anything else, because if you did, you would know that there was a whole separate incident that you've never talked about, that you have no idea about. So, I don't know. There's that. So, they may or may not get calls on their little show between 5 and 10 in the morning from their favorite person that they always like to talk about. But it's a shame. It's a damn shame. And then when I was battered, he mocked me. Yes, Treaster, yep. Yep, that's exactly what they're doing. And I let them know that they were knowingly doing it, because they've already had been presented what they needed to know that it wasn't true at all. So, I don't know. That's that. Possibly going out and not seeing the day one of these days this week to do some audits. I might not. It just kind of depends on everything right now with my dad wise, because I try and get up there a couple times a day. Oh, I know, they're terrible. They are terrible. I don't know what their deal is. But the thing is, at this point, I don't even care anymore, because I've been smashed all around this whole area. Real bad, right? Even many, that's why I think the incompetent nurses that they have, the ones that are, not saying that all of them are pretty decent. And, oh yeah. But, I feel like they are, like Christina with a K from the ER. If I ever went to the ER again, I'd make sure that she was not the one to touch me. Yep. And Bonnie from the ambulance service. Nick Barrett, ambulance service. Bunch of them. Wouldn't trust them. Escaped at the veterans home. Brittany Schaefer. No, wouldn't trust her. Wouldn't let my dog go to her. That Crystal Piccoli. She posted the age of my then 3-year-old, details about her, as well as my home address, which I know my home address is public record. But for somebody that's supposed to be in a position employed by the state and by the people, the former IVCH, it's St. Margaret's Health Parade. It's the one where my dad's at, and where multiple people have tried to drill me into the ground, talking about my children, all this crazy stuff. Many of the employees have. I've generally tried to stay quiet about my issues with them so far right now, because obviously he's still up there. So I mean, I try to address them in a better way. But yeah, like the nurse's button being left away from him is really messed up. I don't think that's cool. And I can get maybe once, maybe, probably not really, but multiple times. And it's like if these people are so overworked and understaffed, which on Christmas and Christmas Eve and stuff, I definitely believe that was the case. It was bad, man. But then they need to figure something out. Calling people, calling travel nurses, whatever you gotta do. Because people shouldn't be being, in my opinion, neglected. And there's been a lot of other things that I didn't want to get too far into out of respect for my dad, but something happened to him. And hopefully he's fully getting better, but we've had explanations as it was the lack of oxygen when he didn't have the oxygen for an unknown period of time. Explanations that complications from surgery, which actually a surgery is a lot less invasive than what they had originally planned for him, so I thought that was weird. And they said, well, maybe it's the medicine. And then the latest thing is the infection thing. Now they say it was due to infection. So I'm like, well, I don't know what the deal is, but this wasn't him before he came here. So yeah, there's a lot of issues, but I think it's pretty disgusting for a doctor to send a 2-year nurse to come have death talks with the family. Especially when they can't answer the obvious questions that people are going to ask. So anyway, yeah, that's my little update. Justice Jake, I'll be keeping you guys updated on Justice Jake stuff this coming week because he's still laying low until everything's over. I don't know what's up with that. Hopefully one of the days I'll get through myself. It's gonna... They don't know what they did. They don't know what they did. We got the first trial coming now, and we got the second one right behind it. It's kind of disappointing that it's coming at like a really bad time for us. But whatever. At least it's coming. It's happening. We've been waiting on it. That guy claimed, Tom Henson from WLPO, claimed that he would apologize. I'm like, bro, you gotta be sending me fucking balloons at my house after all. They made and then they try to deny it, that they made a Mother's Day post about me. They literally said, they're like, in honor of Mother's Day, we're going to go back, blah, blah. I'll find it, and I'll show you guys. They sure as hell did, and they're liars. They're freaking liars. But, you did me. Yeah, you might not like it, but it's all true. Definitely true. Oh, no. I don't know how to put it back. Alright. Well, I don't know if I uncovered it or not. I don't know what's going on. But I know Brian's in for an MVP. Oh, is it bad? But, yeah, that's about all I got for today. I got, some other things I gotta get done. Going back up there. Yes. I'm gonna go back up there tonight and visit him. Smuggle him in some other goodies. Actually, I have to smuggle him in. He's allowed to eat now. He's allowed to do a lot of different things. He actually was sitting up on his bed today, which it's been a long road, like actual injury-wise, but he's getting there. And like I said, several good days in a row without the very, very severe symptoms, without getting into it, that were being displayed, on Christmas Eve and before for a little bit. So we're hoping for the best, but it's pretty disgusting that they continue to inflict this crazy emotional distress. But it's okay because they're going to pay for it later, and then even worse is when they pay for that later, we're going to just be able to use that money to go after more motherfuckers that try to pull this. That's okay though. I think she did a while ago. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited about trial. Things are looking up for my dad. Again, up in the air for my... Thank you. Definitely will. It was really kind of depressed. Kind of like in a freaking zone for the first 2 weeks of it. Just kind of rolling through the days. But really the good Christmas time definitely brightened my spirits. And I think his too. So, and he finally, like I said, got to see his girls on video chat. It was a huge thing for him. Um, so yeah, we're gonna WLPO just picked the wrong one. I don't even know where I'm taking this yet, but we're going to the cleaners. I will set up shop right outside of their damn studio, right on the easement, and stand there for hours and film. I sure will. Mm-hmm. And again, and what's weird is one of their little radio guys. I don't even call him a journalist himself or a reporter since they don't file FOIAs. They don't believe in that. But he even tries to friend me on Facebook. Like, you little pervert, I already know you're a weirdo. You try to friend me so you can creep my page. Like, I'm not stupid. By the end of it, he ended up blocking me. I think I might have referred to him as cue ball after he was bullying me, saying that I looked like I got hit with a baseball bat or a hammer or something. On air, after he had tried to tell me to not say shit because I accidentally said it. I was talking to him way back when. He told me not to say that, saying, oh, it's a family show. And then he talks like that. Like, are you kidding me? There's like 10-year-olds that do terrible things to themselves because little assholes from their school are taught that it's okay to behave that way. And you know what? They probably listen to that show on the air with their mom in the van waiting to be in that obnoxiously long drop-off line at the school before they go in and bully kids with exactly the type of words that they heard Rod Thorson use while on the air of a family show. So, I don't know. Definitely disgusting. It is what it is. It is what it is. I wouldn't want you, bro. Would not want you, bro. But, yeah. Because they like to stalk my channel because they certainly saw my post about him quickly. Oh, happy birthday, Braden Jones. Everybody got birthday wishes. I know one of my daughters, she just had her birthday, then we had Christmas. Kind of excited for New Year's. Yep. Oh, did you guys hear it? That guy, for his New Year wishes for me and my brother, he wished that we would grow up. And then my response to it originally was I drew a male genitalia, and I wrote the B word, and I like circled his name, drew an arrow, all this on my original video from this morning. The YouTube flagged me and demonetized it. And bro, you get weird on me. You get weird. I don't know about all that, but yeah. So then I cover it with the crying lady and something else. Yeah, ignore my nails. My little one painted them, and I've been chipping it off. Actually, they're pink and blue, or they were. But I put that up, and I put like some other little picture up to try and cover it, but then it still demonetized me. And I'm like, pfft. But a lot of preaching issues. Yes. For sure. But anyway, that's about all I got today, guys. Who is this weirdo? Oh, well, I will in a minute. How about that? But yeah, that's about all I got for right now. I do have several videos to post, but I was like in such a funk for that little bit, dealing with everything, trying to get used to the new normal and everything changing. Yes, thank you. But I haven't really edited anything, haven't really even reviewed it, kind of just in a tunnel. But that's all good, because I will tell you what, I'll be good and ready for trial. I don't care what's going on. You guys are going down. No chance, LaSalle County. Tara, you are going down. I feel bad for your kids. I bet they hate that you're a dumb bitch. Truly do. She's made a fool of herself, but I'm excited for that to come out. I am pretty sure that the issues they gave me for filing the report or the complaint on Tara's behavior when she threatened to, among other things. Thank you. You too, cat scratch. Thank you. But That will definitely be included. They try to blame me for what she did. And we're not even including the constant stalking, harassment, phone calls I was getting for months, which I firmly believe is her, or set up behind her, whatever, right? Because it's too convenient. No. And then she was asked about it in court, didn't believe it. No, she don't recall nothing, ever. But what she did recall was them claiming that I was threatening to harm officers and her children, and herself. I would never, number one, I wouldn't threaten to harm any of them, but I would definitely not threaten to harm her freaking kids. I ain't that. I mean, I'm a mom. So, she should know that since she told me to go home and take care of my fucking kids, which, look what I'm doing here. Not only am I doing this, but I'm going to teach them to do this and them to stand up for themselves. So, you're going to have and one of them looks just like me. So, Tara's not going to get rid of me. She's not. You should see her. She's just like me. Anyway. Yeah, I kind of like to do it alone, but also I get that I shouldn't be there alone. You know what I mean? Because I have anxiety. I don't like to, just like with Justice Jake when he came with me, the way he, I don't want to say too much, but certain things he says and does, I personally think are different than what I would, to say it the best way without giving anybody any ammo. But again, they don't want Justice Jake to, I'm wondering if they're going to try and pull that with mine, where they don't want to bring up the cell phone policy. Well, they want to bring up the cell phone policy that didn't exist. That's the thing. It didn't exist at all, period. The only memo that they had sent was from like 2007 or 2003, I forget. That's the only thing we could find anything about it. And it was where the people working there were allowing people that did not have the authority to have the access to there, or letting them go through certain walkways, things like that, that were code protected, gave them a code, had phones over in the jail area, which obviously there you're not really supposed to, once you get back in there. Man, we got a lot of them, Brian. Hi, you're on it. But yeah. Oh, that's where I tried to go to begin with, was the Jeremiah Joe Coffee, but the lobby was closed. I've been wanting to go in there because they have one in Ottawa. It's pretty cool, but I was like, whatever. Yeah, I don't know, something was closed. But, oh, thank you. Thank you, yeah, but I don't know, that's about all we got. I will be definitely, whether I'm there or not, I'll be covering my brother's stuff as far as he lets me do it, which I don't think we're going to have much of a problem with. But again, if they try to pull up that cell phone policy at me, I want to just go nuts. Because why else are they keeping us? How could you not bring up the policy? But the way they worded it, they just didn't want the testimony allowed from the probable cause hearing. Which is strange, because he could turn around and ask them all the same questions, unless No Name, aka Jim Noblock, doesn't have the gonads to actually show up, which I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate it. Yeah, so we've had a lot going on, getting a lot done, but things are looking forward for the best with my dad. We're hoping he can at least come home at some point or qualify to get into the rehabilitation place to help get him better before coming home. So, we'll find out. I don't really have too much more today. I've been kind of chilling and quiet, which everybody takes so personally, but really, well, my people around me fail to understand. Sometimes you deal with things the way you deal with them. It is what it is. Go from there. Alright guys, that's about all I got. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends. I'll update you on Justice Jake, on WLPO. Keep you in the loop with my dad. Yes I am. I don't know if that's a loaded question. Yeah, so got full faith that things are gonna go well. I got full faith in my brother that they're gonna have to explain. I know I said I was getting off, but they're gonna have to explain why he beat them in court for charges that they knew were bogus. Because they reiterated that his charges were for me getting arrested. Because they kind of tried to talk about the doorway when Jacob came up and they wouldn't move and all that out of the doorway. But I wasn't me arrested them. But apparently they are talking about my actual arrest, which is weird because you can see Jacob filming it and obviously not interfering. And so much so that he wasn't interfering that deputy, I believe it was Randovich, bent down and picked up my phone and my notebook. So 2 times bent down, gun side to my brother, so the gun to him, and bends his head down within, I don't know, a foot or two of my brother's foot and leg. My brother could have kicked him like a horse easily. So, we'll see how that turns out for him. But yeah, I'm gonna take a lavish vacation on the LaSalle County taxpayers' dimes, and then I'm gonna send them a bunch of photos by the end of it, just so everybody sees exactly what they do. And then I'm gonna get the most expensive bottle of champagne and not drink it because I don't drink champagne. I'm gonna show them the bill and show them how obnoxiously they just wasted those tax dollars. On top of, I want to have it added up how much money has been spent, not even including like my money for lawyer, all that. How much money from LaSalle County has been spent on this malicious prosecution of both myself and my brother, and housing us for hours, all this other stuff. We're gonna find out. So anyway, that's all we got. Again, we got Lieutenant Wolford, gone. Sheriff Templeton, gone. Tyra Undersheriff is now the sheriff. That's a whole different story. He's the one that got me going, really. Oh, hell yeah, for real. For real. I'm not really into lavish things anyway, but I'm going to do something extra. I'm going to be extra as hell towards them. Look at it. I can't say. Oh, thank you, President 46. But, yeah, no. I forgot what I was talking about now, but that's all I had. It wasn't that important. Alright, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Tell your friends. Brian, thank you so much for all the help. You've really been on it. Heck yeah. Round of applause for Brian. Alright, bye guys.